Hi everybody, it's Russell Markham here from VectorVest. I thought I'd kick off a series here which would be really interesting. Let's, over the next couple of weeks, take a look at some of the key stocks in Australia and have a bit of a shootout in terms of who's the better performer. So the ever popular Rio Tinto or BHP, which one has performed better in recent years? The results might surprise you. Before we get going here, let's just jump into our disclaimer statement. Please note, general advice only. I cannot take into account your personal circumstances. There's a license number there. So cannot take into account your personal circumstances, financial circumstances. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. That said, let's have a look at the shootout. I'm going to jump straight to the chase. Here we go. Over 10 years, Rio is in green and BHP here is in brown. This is the actual performance return. So if we go back all the way back 10 years ago and we say, right, BHP and Rio, you're exactly neck on neck in terms of returns, and then we're looking at the relative outperformance. And you can see here that Rio has returned about 100% returns over a 10-year period. All right, going back, what's that, the 13th of April 2015 through until the 14th of April 2025. So you can see pretty much Rio doubled your money. BHP, on the other hand, here is ended up around about, what was that? It looks like about 30% returns over that time period. Now, this does not take into account dividends and or franking credits. So with that said, let's go and see, does that make a big difference in terms of the dividends and franking credits? So what I did for this exercise here is I did it as follows, right? So here's BHP. I've put on the dividend yield, and then I put on a 200-day moving average on the yield. In this particular case here, I put a VectorVest. You've got all this great functionality. I put a 200-day simple moving average on the yield, and you can see here it came to about 7.86%, 200-day moving average over the last 10 years. All right, so to try and work out each and every day what the differences are, I think it's pretty safe to assume around about a 200-day moving average should give you a fair idea. So lock that number at the back of your mind there, 7.86. All right, over the last 200 odd days. I think that gives you a fair idea, and you can sort of eyeball it. It hovers between, what was it? Looks like typically around about 5 to say 7%. Okay, so that's BHP, and let's do this. Let's go to Rio. And again, a 200-day moving average, 7.83, so pretty much neck on neck. And again, if you eyeball it, again, it looks like it's between about 5 and 8% typically. So what I'll do here is I'll put the two side by side. In fact, let's put them side by side, just like that. Wonderful functionality here you've got in VectorVest. So you can do this type of analysis. And so let's pull this back a little bit here in time. So here we are, 7, 8, 9. I'll go just on, say, 10 years here. Give or take. Okay, that's 11 months. I'll pull it back just a tad bit more. So you get the idea. All right, so fairly similar in terms of that yield profile, but in terms of the returns, BHP is the standout. So if I was to judge, I'd say, well, dividends, franking credits, they're fully franked, both of them. They're pretty much neck on neck in terms of the dividends. Okay, I mean, give or take a little bit here or there, not really material from what I'm seeing. The real standout here is the performance, and BHP definitely has been the laggard relative to Rio over the last 10 years. Now let's do this. Let's put it the AXJO, which tracks the ASX 200. You can see here it really stands out now. You can see that Rio has outperformed the AXJO by quite a bit, and BHP is sort of in recent times sort of reverted to basically what the AXJO has certainly done over the last 10 years. And of course with VectorVest you've got this powerful functionality where you can go and benchmark it, say over 5 years. Look at that. The AXJO outperformed both BHP and Rio, that being the purple line for the AXJO. So that was interesting. And then if I go, let's say over 1 year and load that up, so VectorVest will calculate the benchmark performance. You can see they're way underperformed the AXJO in purple, Rio of course being the green line and BHP being the brown line. But going back over a 10-year time period, then you can see Rio is the outperformer. and BHP certainly lags behind quite a bit, and sort of on track there with the AXJO. So I hope you got a lot out of this. Very interesting, that shootout. Let me know in the chat box, what other stocks would you like me to benchmark against? Let's go and benchmark a couple of other stocks. At the end of the day, it's the opportunity cost of your money. Where was the best application of your money over the last 10 years? And in this example here, was it going to be BHP? Was it going to be Rio? Or would you buy an ETF, for example, that tracked the ASX 200? All right, so I cannot advise, but I can certainly show you the statistics. You be the judge. Where is the best use of your money? Until next time, bye for now.